welcome back to Pat Sajak's Retirement Special, everybody, in which we're going to keep the fun and games moving along with Jeopardy for the 360. Let's see how we do, shall we? I think we'll do well. What do you guys think?
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: MapQuest, official state dinosaurs and fossils, biosphere, Washington, Lincoln, or Obama, top 40 hitmakers, and in the dictionary. Player 1, Samuel Eliot Morison won a Pulitzer for Admiral of the Ocean Sea, about this man who died in 1506. Player 1? Yep. Player 1. As he is the subject of 1918 and 1939 Pulitzer Prize winners, perhaps the books should be read with bifocals. Let's hear it, Player 1. That is correct. Mockingbird is a portrait of this Southern writer. Player 1? You are correct. Queen of Fashion is subtitled What She Wore to the Revolution. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yeah! Right you are. It's the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. All right, here's your clue. In a bit of table turning, Poison Pen is an unauthorized bio of this woman who wrote a bio of Nancy Reagan. No. We're talking about Kitty Kelly. Player 1, you pick again, please. It's a 7-letter synonym for majorette, from what she does with her baton. Yes, Player 1? That's correct.
Yeah! Woo!
This enclosed glass container is used to keep plants and small animals, such as turtles and lizards. Okay, Player 1? Yes. Appropriately, the word volcano comes from the name of this Roman god. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. Player 1. Here's Sarah.
In the pronunciation for the word circus, the U is an unstressed vowel and is marked with what looks like an inverted E, called this.
Player 1. Anyone else? Here's the correct response. Schwa. You get the name of this horse breed tells us that it originated in the Perche area of France. It's player one.
Yeah!
Right you are. Please pick again, player one. To visit Sensoji Temple in this capital, cross Komagata Bridge, turn right, and walk north on the Nakamisedori. Player one, you are correct. Player the drive from Denmark to Malmö in this country includes a 5-mile stretch across the Øresund Bridge. Yes, player one? You got it. So, from Paris's Royal Saint-Honoré Hotel, walk a half-mile down Rue Saint-Honoré, turn right, and walk into its glass pyramid. Player one? That's correct. Player to visit San Marino, take a winding road up Mount Titano, a short drive from Rimini in this country. Player one?
Yeah!
From Ulaanbaatar, go straight south to Wuhai, flip a left, and go about 500 miles to reach this world capital. Okay, player one. That's correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one. The Triceratops found in this state's Black Hills won official fossil status. It's player one. That's correct. Player Montana's state fossil, the Maiasaura, had this type of mouth like the platypus. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
Player Haddonfield in this eastern state was the site of the first nearly complete dinosaur found, a Hadrosaurus. Player one? That's correct. So the teeth from Maryland's Astrodon were cut open in 1858 and revealed this pattern, hence its name. Okay, player one. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about star. Select again. Saurophaganax was named this state's official fossil in 2000, and you can see one at the Sam Noble Museum in Norman. It's player one. That is correct. Player one, 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon. And California Dreamin'. It's player one. Hey, you're right. Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show and Sweet Caroline. Player one? Yes. Player one? What would you say? And Crash Into Me. Yes, player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? The correct response is the Dave Matthews Band. You again, player one. Saturday night special and woo, free bird. Yes, player one? That's correct. You Harry Truman and 25 or 6-4. It's player one. Good. Player 1. Was born a British subject. Okay, Player 1. Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. The tallest. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's right. Way to go. You never lived in Illinois. It's Player 1. That's correct. Player 1 went to Occidental College and Columbia University. Yes, Player 1. That is correct. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. Received a patent. Player 1. That is correct. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are flowers, tea time, fashion, Broadway debuts, writers at rest, and Minority Report. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2 has control. He made his debut as Katharine Hepburn's grandson in A Matter of Gravity, before flying high as Superman. Okay, Player 1. Yep. Player in 1995, Jolie Fisher made her Broadway debut as Rizzo in this musical, It's the Word. Player 1. Hey, you're right. In 1999, Susan Lucci took aim at Broadway and made her debut as the title gal in this musical. Okay, Player 1. That's not it. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Annie, get your gun. Player 1. He made his debut starring opposite Natasha Richardson in Anna Christie. They were married soon after. Okay, Player 1. That's it. Player 1. Answer. The first of the Daily Doubles. You are in the lead right now. And the Daily Double clue. In 2006, in her first big project since giving birth to twins, she starred on Broadway in 3 Days of Rain. That puts you even further ahead. Player 1, you pick again, please. This Western-type tie, made with a cord and a sliding clasp, is also called a shoelace tie. Okay, Player 1. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. Right. Player 2, where do we start? In 1966, this Algerian-born designer opened a series of boutiques called Rive Gauche. Player 1? Yes. These pants for women came down to just below the knee and were named for their common use in bicycling. It's Player 1. That's correct. Player Several 1. Years before his topless bathing suits were the rage in 1964, women were buying his tube dresses. Yes, Player 1? Right. Player this 1. Spaniard opened his house in 1915 and counted the Duchess of Windsor and Princess Grace among his clients. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Player 1. This country isn't out of kilter with the thistle as its national flower. Okay, player one. Right. On March 22nd, 1994, the Dutch ambassador to the United States gave her a new tulip named for her. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Player Singularly speaking, the bright blue cornflower is known as this button. Okay, player one. Good. Player
Let's go
one.
over to Jimmy.
Also called galanthus. It's among the earliest garden flowers to blossom in spring.
Player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Okay, player three. That is correct. Player three, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? Bloom forms of this large hardy perennial include spoon, quill, and pompon. Okay, player one. No, sorry. Any other takers? Here's the response we were looking for. The chrysanthemum. Please pick again, player three. Her headstone at West Cemetery in Amherst says she was born December 10th, 1830. Called back May 15th, 1886. Let's hear it, player one.
Oh.
You got it. Oh, his grave is marked Reverend Charles Lutwidge Dodson. Fell asleep January 14th, 1898, aged 65 years. Okay, player one. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is Lewis Carroll. You get buried at the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in Concord, Massachusetts. She died 2 days after her father, Bronson. It's player one. No. Anyone else? Yes, player three? Nope. Anyone else? Yes, player two. Hey, you're right. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. This author of Metamorphosis rests at a Jewish cemetery in Prague beneath a tombstone inscribed in Hebrew. Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we were looking for. Franz Kafka. Player two, you pick again, please. It's the T in ATM, or physicist Edward. Player one? That's correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one? It can mean to veer or to go sour as applied to milk. Yes, player one? Nope. Anyone else? The correct response is to turn. We return another name for a billy club or a policeman's baton. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player it's one. A sustained pull applied mechanically to correct fractured or dislocated bones. It's player one. Good. Yeah! The second daily double. And you're in the lead now. Please enter your wager. The clue. In some religious beliefs, it's the process of transference of a soul into another body at death. Congratulations, you're still in first, player one. Player one, a little detective work in a Hampshire churchyard, and you'll find the grave of this patriot, physician, and man of letters. Okay, player one. Yes. Please. A 1936 dissent by Justice Stone accused 6 other justices of a tortured construction of this document. It's player one. That's correct. In his first major case as Chief Justice, he found himself in the minority in 2006 as Oregon's assisted suicide was okayed. Okay, player one. Right. Please. Justice Brennan, dissenting in Paris Adult Theater v. Slayton, said this quality is too vaguely defined to regulate. It's player one. That's not it. Anyone else? Yes, player two. Nope. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player three? Yes. Player three, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? Justice Holmes dissented when seditionist Jacob Abrams' conviction was upheld, saying he didn't pose this type of danger. It's player one. That's right. Way to go. Yeah. Woo. Here's the $2,000 clue. Justice Harlan was an honorable one-man minority in the 1896 decision Plessy v. Him. Player one? You got it. Congratulations to all of you. You'll be continuing on to Final Jeopardy when we come back. Final Jeopardy still to come, and here's the category. Children's Lit. Please enter your wager. And now the last clue. This Roald Dahl book begins, "These two very old people are the father and mother of Mr. Bucket." Your response? And that will cost you. What did you put as your response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? What did you say? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? You've come out ahead as our champion, player one. We'll see you all next time.